Dear children, welcome to the online classes of biology. So, in the previous classes, we were studying about different types of immunity, active immunity and passive immunity. Active immunity means what? When our body is exposed to microbes or the what various substances of microbes, antibodies are produced inside the body. That kind of immunity is known as what? Active immunity. And the passive immunity means what? Which is not. Okay. A passive immunity means in which the ready-made antibodies are injected. Isn't it? Ready-made antibodies will be given. And we have also studied about the what various methods of active immunity and passive immunity, isn't it? Example, we have studied about colostrum, and also we have studied about we have also studied about the vaccination and immunization. And I told during vaccination, what we are doing is the attenuated or weakened forms of microorganisms are introduced into the body so that the body can recognize, okay, the pathogen next time when there is the actual attack of the real organism. Understood? So that gives what? A kind of or it is a kind of active immunization or immunity. And passive immunity is example what? The prepared venom, anti-venom or anti-tetanus toxins, etc. when we use, okay, which contains actually what? The prepared antibodies, yeah, where there is no time for making the antibodies by the organism, okay, or the if the patient, if they are not given this type of antivenom, that can be fatal to their health. Understood? So we can give what? Already prepared antibodies. Though this is an example for, or this is what? Passive immunization. And then I have told you about the allergy. Allergies are what? Actually exaggerated response of the immune system to certain type of antigens, isn't it? So the antibody associated with this is IgE type, isn't it? So we have studied that many substances can cause what? Allergy, like what? Pollen grains or dust. Okay, so this kind of things which are causing the allergy are known as what? Allergens. Okay, allergens. And now we'll study another topic, that is autoimmunity. Okay, so autoimmunity means what now here? The antibodies, okay, or the immune system of a particular person, if it is not able to differentiate. So, in autoimmunity, what is happening? The body is preparing antibodies against our own cells or our own organs. Understood? So, this kind of the problem of immune system is called autoimmunity. Okay, here this is due to some genetic reason. Okay, here what happens is the immune system starts preparing antibodies, okay, or against, or they start degenerating our own cells, thinking that it is something outside. Okay, when an organism or when a pathogen enters into the body, what happens? Antibodies are produced, isn't it? In our body, antibodies are produced and they will fight against. But in this condition, what happens is the immune system is not able to identify the self cells and the non-self cells. So what will happen? They will start producing or they will degenerate the organs of our own. So examples of this is what? Rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, so here what happens is the body is not able to distinguish, okay, our own what cells or our own muscle cells, and they start producing or they are getting degenerated. Understood? So allergy and autoimmunity are the disorders of immune system. Okay, it's the disorders of the immune system. So the immune system in the body consists of what? Mainly the lymphoid organs, okay, lymphoid organs, then tissues, cells, then antibodies, etc. Understood? And this, due to the presence of this system only, we are able to recognize foreign antigens, and we can respond to this kind of microorganisms enters into the body. Okay, so they are also important what in allergic reactions. We have learned exaggerated reaction of immune system is called what? Allergy, isn't it? Autoimmune system. Autoimmune system means where what autoimmune disease, sorry, autoimmune disease means here the body is what degenerating its own cells. Okay, and organ transplantation. In organ transplantation also immune system plays an important role, because what if it has to be what successful, if the organ transplantation should be successful, then immunosuppressant should be used, isn't it? Otherwise it will cause the rejection of the transplanted organ. Understood? So immune system in the body consists of what? Lymphoid organs, tissues, cells, and soluble molecules like antibodies. Okay, and they are responsible for what? The recognition of foreign organisms. Then what? It's playing an important role in allergic reactions, autoimmune disease, and organ transplantation. Now let's study what are the lymphoid organs. Okay, so the lymphoid organs are what? Or these organs are including, okay, these organs includes what? Where origin and maturation and proliferation of lymphocytes occurs. So the organs in which where or in which the origin and maturation and proliferation occurs are known as what? The lymphoid organs. So they can be divided into primary and secondary. The primary lymphoid organs are what? Actually bone marrow and thymus. Okay, so this is the place where they are differentiated. Okay, immature lymphocytes are differentiated into antigen specific lymphocytes. So this organs where the the maturation of lymphocytes takes place are known as what? The primary lymphoid organs. Okay, now secondary lymphoid organs are what? Where the interaction of the lymphocytes with the antigen happens. Okay, so like this, what the primary organs, primary immune, what immune organs. Okay, the primary what immunity, sorry, the primary immune organs includes what? The bone marrow, the primary lymphoid organs. Sorry, immunity, not lymphoid organs. They include what? Bone marrow and thymus. What happens there? There, the maturation of lymphocytes occurs. And what are secondary lymphoid organs? Where the encounter, the interaction of the lymphocytes with the antigen takes place. Clear? So the secondary lymphoid organs includes what? The spleen. Okay, spleen, then lymph nodes, tonsils, pairs, patches of small intestine. Okay, and appendix. These are the places where what happened? The encounter of antigens and the what the cells of the immune system. Okay, they have the encounter or the sites of interaction of the lymphocytes with the antigen happens where? In the secondary lymphoid organs. What are the secondary lymphoid organs present in our body? Spleen, okay, lymph nodes, tonsils, pairs, patches, and appendix. These all are what? Secondary lymphoid organs. Why they are known as secondary lymphoid organs? Because in this organs only the real interaction of the lymphocytes and the microorganism happens. Okay, so this diagram you can see here, the position of various what the lymphoid organs are shown. You can just go through this. Okay, so let's see what are the organ where this happens. So first we learned the primary lymphoid organ. So in that, okay, bone marrow we have studied, isn't it? So bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where blood cells including lymphocytes are produced, isn't it? Maturation and production of lymphocytes happens in bone marrow. Okay, then another organ where the production, okay, or the differentiation of lymphocytes occurs is the thymus gland. Okay, so that is actually present near to the heart and beneath the breastbone. And this gland you have studied last year also. This gland is what special that when the child okay, grows up, when the child, when a child is formed, the thymus will be very large. Okay, but it reduces its size, and by age, with age and by the time of puberty, it will be very much reduced, okay, to a very small size. Understood? So bone marrow and what thymus, they provide what? The environment for the development and maturation of T lymphocytes. Then I have told you about the secondary lymphocytes, where the actual interaction of lymphocytes and the microorganisms takes place. So the first is what? The spleen. Okay, the spleen. Spleen is actually it's a bean shaped organ, and it consists of, or it contains what? Lymphocytes and phagocytes. Okay, and it acts as a what? A filtering unit for the blood. Okay, so when it blood passes through this, many of the microorganisms are trapped in the organ. Understood? Spleen is also a large reservoir of erythrocytes. Understood? So what else? The bone marrow and the thymus are examples of what? Primary lymphoid organ. The spleen. Okay, then what else? The lymph nodes, okay, etc., are examples of secondary lymphoid organs, where the what the already produced lymphocytes, differentiated lymphocytes, they are having the interaction. So the first one is spleen, and the second is what? The lymph nodes. So what are lymph nodes? Lymph nodes are solid structures that are found in the what? Lymphatic system. Understood? Located at different points in the lymphatic system. So lymphatic nodes or lymph nodes, they are also giving a site for the interaction of the microorganism with antigens. Understood? So like this, what the these are examples of the secondary what? Lymphoid organs. What all? The spleen. Then what else? The tonsils, lymph nodes. Okay, tonsillitis you might have heard. Pairs, patches of small intestine, etc., are example of what? Secondary lymphoid organs. And what are secondary lymphoid organs? They are the organs where what happens? The reaction or interaction of the interaction of the lymphocytes and the microorganisms takes place. Okay, then the bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ. Understood? And there only what happened? The lymphocytes are produced. Thymus is another organ. Okay, so these are examples of primary lymphoid organs. And then what? The spleen. Then what else? Pairs, patches, lymph nodes, tonsils. All these are examples of what? Secondary means secondary lymphoid organs, where actually the interaction of the pathogen and the lymphocytes occurs. Okay, so another lymphoid tissue, okay, or lymphoid tissue associated with immune system are what? The mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, MALT. Okay, so what are MALT? The lymphoid tissue associated with what? The lining of major tracts. There are various tracts in the body, isn't it? Respiratory tract, digestive tract, urogenital tract, etc. So the tissues which are located in the lining of the tracts are known as what? Mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, and this constitutes about 50 percentage of the lymphoid tissue in the body. So what the malt that are mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, where you can see this in the different tracts. Understood? And this tissue constitute what? 50 percentage of the lymphoid tissue in the body. Okay, so about this it's clear to you all. I hope it's very clear. So, what all we have studied is what? About the autoimmunity and immune systems in the body. Okay, today. So, autoimmunity means what? Here, the body immune system is not able to distinguish what the own cells from the what the other cells or foreign cells, and they start preparing antibodies, or they'll start degenerating the cells of our own body. Okay, example is what? Rheumatoid arthritis. Understood? Then we have studied about the immune systems in the body. Okay, so it consists of what? Lymphoid organs, tissues, cells, and the what? The molecules like antibodies. Lymphoid organs can be divided into two types. What are they? Primary and secondary. Primary means where the maturation and differentiation of lymphocytes occurs. Example of this is what? The bone marrow and the thymus gland. Okay, and the other organs which are what? Associated with, or the interaction, or where the interaction of lymphocytes and the antigen happens, these are known as the secondary lymphoid organs. Understood? And they include what? Pairs, patches, tonsils. Okay, then what? Lymph nodes, spleens, appendix, etc. Okay, the tissue associated with, okay, the lining of various tracts are called mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, and it consists of about 50 percentage of the lymphoid tissue in the body. So this much is very clear to you, I hope. So we'll continue with the the AIDS disease in the next class. Thank you.